Okay, so hello everybody. So today we will see the second method of analysis of medium transmission line, that is the nominal T method. Okay. In last session we have covered about the end condenser method. We have drawn the circuit diagram, phasor diagram and the equation. So same thing we will do for nominal T method. Okay. So first we will draw the circuit diagram of nominal T method. So in nominal T method, we are using the capacitor at the middle. Okay, unlike end condenser where capacitor is situated at the end, so in nominal T method, capacitor is assumed to be present at the middle of the line. Okay, so this is a diagram of nominal T method. Okay, so this is your load, receiving end voltage VR, receiving end current IR, sending end voltage Vs, sending end current Is. Capacitor is assumed to be present at the middle. Okay, and your line impedance is divided in half. Okay, so this is R by 2, X by 2. So together it will have an impedance of Z by 2. Similarly, this is R by 2, X by 2. It will have an impedance of Z by 2. Clear? Voltage across capacitor, let us say plus minus Vc. Okay, that is the voltage across capacitor. So capacitor is assumed to be situated at the middle. So therefore this method is also known as a this method is also known as the middle condenser method. Okay, because capacitor is assumed to be situated at the middle. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram. Per phase sending end voltage is Vs, per phase receiving end voltage is Vr, IR is the per phase receiving end current, Is is the per phase sending end current, Vs is the per phase voltage across the capacitor. Resistance reactances are for per phase, that is for one conductor. Okay, so after circuit diagram we will draw the phasor diagram. Now how to draw the phasor diagram? Again we take VR as a reference. Okay, always we take VR as a reference. That is a general practice. Okay, so this VR we are taking as a reference. Okay, now practically our loads are inductive load or the lagging power factor load. So IR will lag behind the VR by some angle. So just for the phasor diagram purpose, I am indicating IR to be lagging by a little bit more angle because I have to draw other currents also. Okay, so this is your IR and this angle it will be phi r. Okay, so IR will lag VR by some angle phi r. So lagging means clockwise direction. Okay, so after VR and IR we have to obtain VC. So how to obtain VC? We apply KVL in this loop. So VC will be VR plus IR into Z by 2. Okay, so in IR we have to add the voltage drop across resistance and reactance. Okay, so IR into R by 2, it will be somewhere here, IR into R by 2. Okay, so this line IR into R by 2 will be parallel to IR and IR into X by 2 it will be leading. Okay, so IR into X by 2. So this is IR into X by 2. Okay, so IR into R by 2 and IR into X by 2. Now if you add VR, IR into R by 2 and IR into X by 2, what we will get is VC. Okay, so I will indicate that by black color. So this will be capacitor voltage VC. Okay, because VC is VR plus IR R by 2 plus IR X by 2. Once we get VC, we can determine the IC. What is IC? IC is current flowing through the capacitor, per phase capacitor current IC. Okay, so IC will lead VC by 90 degree. Okay, so I will indicate that by again black color. Let us say this current is IC. So this angle will be 90 degree with respect to VC. Okay, now how to obtain IS? Now if you apply the KCL at this node, IS will be IC plus IR. IS will be IC plus IR. So we have to add IR and IC. So same IC I can indicate here. So this is IC. Okay, parallel to this line IC I have indicated here. and if I join the third side of the triangle, what I will get? I will get the IS. Okay, so as you can see, IS is IC plus IR. Okay, so this is our IR. So let me draw a straight line properly. So this is our IR, this is IC, so IR plus IC is IS. Okay, now whether our phasor diagram is over now, we have indicated VR, IR, IC and IS. Still one quantity is remaining, that is VS. Okay, so how to determine VS? Apply KVL to this loop. So what will be VS now? VS will be VC plus IS into R by 2 plus IS into X by 2. So we have to add voltage drop in this R by 2 and X by 2. Okay, so already we have drawn the VC. So we have to indicate IS into R by 2. Now where will be IS into R by 2? So IS into R by 2, it will be parallel to IS, because IS into R by 2 is voltage drop across resistance, and we know that voltage drop across resistance is in phase with the current flowing through the resistance. We have to add this in to the VC, so therefore we will indicate IS R by 2 from VC. So draw a line which is parallel to IS. So take a scale and move like this, or you can take a roller and draw a line which is parallel to IS. So this voltage drop will be IS into R by 2. IR into X by 2 is this drop. Okay, IS into R by 2 is this one. Okay, and in that we have to add IS into X by 2. So IS into X by 2 is voltage drop across inductor, and we know that voltage drop across inductor leads the current by 90 degree. Okay, so therefore what we need to do here, we have to draw a line which is at 90 degree with respect to the IS into R by 2. Okay, so I will draw this line, IS into X by 2. How much is this angle? This angle is 90 degree. Clear? Now we have to add VS, IS into R by 2 and IS into X by 2. So if you add that, what you will get? You will get VS. Okay, so this is the resultant VS. Clear? So VS is nothing but VC plus IS R by 2 plus IS into X by 2. Okay, so that is the way to determine the resultant. If you want to add more than 2-3 phasors, okay, indicate the phasors by as the adjacent side of the your parallelogram, or you can say the, okay, so resultant can be obtained starting from the beginning point to the end of the last point. Okay, so that is the resultant VS. Okay, so what will be phi s here? So angle between VS and IS. Okay, so this angle is nothing but phi s, sending end phase angle. And what is phi r here? So phi r is angle between VR and IR. So this angle is nothing but phi r. Okay, so angle between VR IR is phi r, angle between VS and IS is your sorry, here where is IS? This is IS, yes, correct. So VS and IS, so this is IS, angle between VS and IS is phi s. Okay, so this is your phasor diagram. So phasor diagram of nominal T method. This is the phasor diagram. Clear? Okay, now we will write the equations corresponding to this particular phasor diagram. So we have to write the equations in the same manner in which we have drawn the phasor diagram. So first thing what we did, we have indicated the VR. So VR is equal to VR at an angle of 0 degree volts. Okay, so why it is at an angle of 0 degree? Because as you can see, we have indicated VR to be along positive x-axis. Okay, so therefore VR it is shown along positive x-axis, so its angle is 0 degree. Next, what we have drawn after VR, we have indicated the IR. So what will be IR now? IR will be IR magnitude at an angle of minus phi r. Why minus phi r? Because practically we take current to be lagging. Okay, so we have drawn the practical, we have taken the practical case, and VR is a reference. So therefore clockwise direction we have indicated the IR. So therefore it will be minus phi r. So after VR and IR, what is the next thing that we have done? So from VR and IR we have obtained the VC. Okay, because VC is VR plus IR into Z by 2. Okay, so impedance is divided in half, so therefore this is Z by 2, this is Z by 2. Okay, so VC, so by applying KVL to loop 2, so by applying KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, to loop 2 or mesh 2. What is loop 2? This is the second mesh. Okay, so this is your mesh number 2 and this is your mesh number 1. Okay, so what will be VC then? So VC will be equal to VR plus IR into Z by 2. Okay, equation number 3, where what is Z? Z is nothing but R plus Jx. Z is nothing but R plus Jx. Okay, so that is equation number 4. What we did next after drawing the Vs? Okay, after drawing the Vs, this Vs, what we done was we have obtained the IC. Okay, we have obtained the VC, and 90 degree to that we have obtained the IC. Okay, so IC will lead VC by 90 degree. So by the basic definition, by basic Ohm's law, what will be IC then? So by Ohm's law, what will be IC? IC will be equal to VC divided by minus j XC. IC will be VC divided by minus j XC. Okay, so that is equal to 1 upon minus j is plus j into VC divided by XC. XC is what? 1 upon omega c. Okay, so that is equal to j omega c into VC, and as you know omega is 2 pi f, so IC will be equal to j 2 pi f c VC. Okay, so that is equation number 5. Okay, so current flowing through the capacitor will lead the voltage across capacitor by 90 degree. Okay, so because there is a plus j. Clear? So we have obtained the IC. So after obtaining the IC, what is the next step that we have done? So once we obtain the IC, what we can obtain? We can obtain the IS by applying the KCL here. Okay, so IR plus IC is nothing but IS. Okay, so by applying KCL, we can get the sending end current. Okay, so by applying KCL, we can get the sending end current. Okay, so by applying KCL, so what you will get? Sending end current IS, that will be equal to IR plus IC. Okay, equation number 6. So already we have got IR from equation number 2 and IC from equation number 5. Okay, so after IS, what we did, next thing, once we get IS, we have added voltage drop in R by 2 X by 2 in VC to get Vs. So we can apply KVL to this particular loop. So applying KVL to loop 1, so by applying KVL to loop 1, loop or you can consider mesh, so what will be sending end phase voltage? Sending end phase voltage Vs, it will be equal to VC plus IS into Z by 2. Again, what is Z? Z is R plus Jx. Okay, so we are assuming impedance to be divided in half, so therefore we can write exactly IS into Z by 2. So here we have got Vs, IS. Okay, we have also determined the IC part, and from IC we have determined the IS. Okay, now once we get all these parameters, we can determine the sending end power factor, because practically when we calculate equation number 7, Vs will be at some angle, IS will be at some angle from equation 6. So the take subtraction of angle of Vs and Is and take cos of that, cosine, you will get the sending end power factor. Okay, now from that we can determine the transmission efficiency. From all these parameters, we can determine the transmission efficiency eta as the receiving end active power divided by the sending end 3-phase active power. Okay, so that will be equal to 3 times VR phase IR into cos phi r divided by 3 times VS phase into IS into cos phi. Okay, this 3 will get cancelled. So what will be efficiency? It will be VR phase IR cos phi r divided by Vs per phase into Is into cos phi. Okay, if you want in percentage, multiply by 100. Okay, and if you want the approximate voltage regulation, So this is the approximate voltage regulation in percentage, VR percentage. So approximately we can write it as Vs minus Vr by Vr. This is the approximate relation. For short line this will be exact relation, but for medium or long line this will not give the exact relation. Okay, this will be approximate. If you take this as a line voltage, this you take it as a line, this you take it as a line. If you take this as a phase, Vs phase, then this will be Vr phase, this will also be Vr phase. Okay, and if you want more accurate equation, then that will be Vr no load minus Vr full load divided by Vr full load into 100. Okay, FL indicate full load, NL indicate no load. Again you can take either line voltage or phase voltage. Okay, now this equation we should use. Okay, but to obtain Vr no load we will require capital A line parameter. Okay, so that how to determine ABCD parameters, so that we will discuss in the upcoming session. Okay, but more important equation or the more exact equation is this. Okay, this will give you the rough idea about the voltage regulation. Okay, so in this session we have done the analysis of medium transmission line by using a nominal T method. We have assumed capacitor to be situated at the middle. So therefore this method is also known as the middle condenser method. Okay, so this is also known as middle condenser method. Okay, and this resembles English alphabet T, therefore it is known as a nominal T method. Why word nominal is there? Because whatever results we are getting, they will not be exactly identical, because we are assuming the lumped parameter. We are assuming that resistance situated only at 2 location, inductance situated at 2 location, capacitance at 1 location. This is a lumped parameter. Therefore whatever results we are getting, it will be not exact, okay, but it will be close to the practical values. Therefore there is a word nominal. We have drawn the circuit diagram, we have drawn the phasor diagram, and we have written all the equations based on the circuit diagram and the phasor diagram. Okay, so we can obtain the efficiency and voltage regulation for this particular medium transmission line using nominal T method. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to solve or how to do the analysis of medium transmission line using nominal T method. Okay, thank you.